Hi and welcome to Whiskey Shared. You're watching day 2 of my mystery whiskey advent calendar. I'm Toby and you're watching Whiskey Shared. Welcome to day 2 of my mystery whiskey advent calendar. If you've seen this before and you know it works, then you can just skip straight forward to the tasting. The way this works is I have over 150 samples in my sample collection, and my wife has kindly picked 24 at random, and she'll put one a day into this blue Glencairn glass. I'll nose it, I'll taste it, I'll tell you if I like it, and I'll have a stab at what I think it is. Should we find out what's in my glass? On to the whiskey. If you'd like to play along with me and find out what's in my glass when I do, then just keep watching. Otherwise, take a look in the description now for a sneak peek. Let's start with the nose. So the first thing I get is like vanilla, cherry, getting some cinnamon, getting biscuit. It reminds me of sort of cinnamon Christmas biscuits. Yeah, there's like charred oak and cherry. This does remind me of a bourbon on the nose. Let's move on to the palate. So, on the palate, this instantly reminds me of not a bourbon. Reminds me of a Scotch whisky. Reminds me of a sherry bomb. This has got lots of juicy, rich fruit. So I'm getting raisins. I'm getting milk chocolate, dark chocolate as well. I'm getting a little bit of nuttiness. I'm getting some cereal. I'm getting some charred oak. Yeah. Let's have another sip. I think ABV wise, this is possibly at least 50% ABV, but I'm torn because on the one hand, this reminds me of like a sherry bomb, but those sort of juicy red fruit notes, as the dram sort of dissipates on the tongue, it reminds me more of a bourbon or an American whiskey. So yeah, it really is difficult. I know that if I say this is a bourbon, it's going to be a Scotch, and if I say it's a Scotch, it's going to be a bourbon. But this is weird. I'm wondering if it is a bourbon, it probably is much higher ABV, probably in the mid to late 50s. And if this is a Scotch, it's probably in the low 50s. But it's really difficult. One part of my brain is telling me this is Scotch, and the other part of my brain is saying no, it's now turned into a bourbon. So this is really weird. Let me have another sip. Obviously, if this is a bourbon, it's made predominantly from corn, and if this is a Scotch, it's made exclusively from malted barley. So I think my mind's playing tricks with me. This is really, really difficult, but I think I'm going to lean more to Scotch and say this is a sherry whiskey, but this is probably the most confused I've been blind tasting. I normally stick with one and get it wrong, or stick with the other and get it right, but yeah, I can't entirely decide, but I think I'm going to go Scotch with this, possibly a sherried Scotch. Yeah. Should we find out what's in my glass? Right, so this is Glenlivet Nàdurra. It's 60.2% and it was sent to me by Tom Jacklin, so thanks Tom. Yeah, I think this was on the 101 Whiskies to Try Before You Die. It was in the 3rd edition I think I've got. And yeah, this is one confusing dram. It was definitely giving me bourbon notes at the same time as sort of Scotch notes. So yeah, maybe it just needs more time in the glass, and I need to take my time with it. But thanks, Tom, for sending me a great dram. And yeah, it was a real challenge to try and work out what this was. Hopefully you'll come back tomorrow for some more, and I'll see you then. Saunter. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why not give it a like or a comment, and please consider subscribing for more videos like this.